guys. My name is Chris Branham. First of all, we give everybody a big thank you for coming out to support local comedians. So give yourselves a round of applause. Alright, that's probably, I won't get anywhere near that round of applause, so I just wanted to hear it. Just so you know. I'd like to think I'm funny, but most of the time, I really just end up looking awkward. You know what I mean? Alright, good.
Okay. That's pretty funny.
I had a couple of awkward situations happen in my life that I'd like to share with you guys this evening. The first one that immediately comes to mind is I once masturbated to my sister's friend who was asleep. In case you guys didn't hear me in the back, she was asleep, and I stood over her and I violated myself to her asleep. And the whole time I was doing this, my only thought was, is this against the law? Is this illegal? Like, morally, I knew it was totally fucked up, and I didn't care about that. Like, if a cop just happened to come in the neighborhood and see me doing this, am I going to get arrested? But I thought to myself, well, I didn't touch her, so it's cool. Continue. I did come close to brushing her elbow a couple of times, so I did actually step back. And she doesn't know that this happened, and hopefully she never will. But somewhere out there, she's living her life, having fun. She has no idea that I masturbated to her when she was unconscious. So if you're out there, I'm sorry. I apologize. You know, what can I say? Another awkward moment, if I can top that, is when I was younger, I used to sneak through my parents' bedroom. I would look for fun things like dynamite or knives, which I'm not really sure why I thought they would have those things in their room, like they weren't in a fucking motorcycle gang, but I was just looking. But instead of coming across cool things, instead, how do I put this? I stumbled across their duffel bag filled with sex toys. It was awkward for me too, right? I mean, and it was underneath their bed, and it was heavy. So I lifted it up, and I'm like, all right, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Like, what is this? Boy, was I wrong. So I unzipped the bag, didn't know what was in it at that point, dumped out all the contents, and my face went from to What the fuck is this? You kidding me? So without thinking, I picked up one of the sex toys. So I'm holding my mom's dildo. And I'm looking at it, and then I realized that it hit me. The dildo didn't hit me, the vibrator hit me in the head. I realized that this is what she uses. This is what goes in her. Fuck, man! I'm gonna cut my own hand off now. But you know what they say, we all have our crosses to bear. And I guess mine was holding that dildo. So thank you, Jesus. I appreciate it. I could have picked 1,000 other things than that, but whatever. Thank you. You know, I love my mom to death, but she's made some weird choices when it comes to men. She once married a guy who turned out to be gay. Since J.J. Abrams, everybody seems to love him, you fags will love this joke. I support gay rights, by the way. I mean, I look like I do, but I do. There should have been some red flags, though, that this guy was a little off. I don't mean fags, I mean red flags, just so we're clear. The first red flag was during their first dance wedding song, instead of like a slow dance, Garth Brooks type shit, he picked Barbie Girl by Aqua. You know the song, "Come on Barbie, let's go party." And yeah, exactly. I didn't want to keep saying the song. I'm hoping someone knew who like that song was about. So thank you to Aqua, the one that wondered. But My mom's just standing there like, holy shit, is this really happening? And he's loving it. He is just, you can touch my hair, undress me everywhere. And I'm like, wow, this wedding has got a whole lot more awesome. Just based off of that alone. But if that wasn't enough, there was a couple of more things that led me to believe something was off. If that wasn't enough evidence, I presented to the jury. He used to go on weekend getaways. Not my words, his words. Weekend getaways with his best friend who was a guy. I'm thinking, okay, you know. So he comes back from one of these visits, and he's on cloud nine. Like, he walked through the door, and you would think he was just gliding. And I'm like, hey, so how was it? He goes, Chris, it was amazing. I feel like a new man. We had breakfast in bed. He fed me fresh strawberries that we picked. I can actually still taste them. That's crazy. We went horseback riding, and we talked until the sun came up. And back then I was sarcastic. I'm like, I'm glad you found someone. That's good. You seem very happy. And the last thing that made me think that he was gay is when he would get mad at me, he would do like some sort of pose, stance. I don't really know what it was, but I'll demonstrate. So he would get mad at me. He would say, Chris, clean your room. Be like, I'm good. Clean your room. No. Chris, clean your room. I'm not kidding, mister. Clean your room. And he would shoot his hand out like this. Clean your room now. He would holster it back. Clean your room. What are you doing, man? I'll go clean it if you won't do that again. You promise? No. He was a good guy, and I'm sure he's out right now horseback riding. I wish him nothing but the best. And all these moments happened when I was younger. And I miss being a kid. I miss growing up, because when you're a kid, you're naive about things. You know, I miss not knowing about certain things. Like, I didn't know marijuana existed. Does anybody know what weed is? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Well, I didn't know what weed was, and I especially didn't know that my mom smoked weed. I didn't find out until years later. Whenever she wanted to get high, she would send me outside to do chores. So I'd be sitting there, and she would say, hey, why don't you go clean the yard? All right. So I'd go clean the yard, pick it up, and the door would be locked, which I thought was a little strange. So I'd go and knock on the door. Mom, it's me. I'm done cleaning the yard. And she goes, why don't you mow the lawn since you're out there? I'm like, fuck. All right. I'm out here. Might as well. So I mow the lawn. That might take like an hour, and I'm cold, and I mow the lawn, and I come back, and I just knock on the door again. And I'm like, Mom, let me in. It's Chris. And she goes, who are you again? I'm like, oh, shit. That was a little glimpse of my childhood. One last thing before I go, it's an observation. I seen a black girl. Is that the PC term? African American, ebony goddess, whatever. I don't know. I seen a black girl and a nun, and they were walking side by side together. And I was standing behind them, and they were walking, and I stopped and I said, hey, sister! And they both turned around. Just thought that was interesting. All right, well, my name is Chris Brenham. That is my time, everyone. Thank you. Next comedian to the stage, I don't know who he is, but I'm sure he's great. James Wisdom.